Hello, and thank you so much for joining me, guys. In this video, this is a continuation of things that you can do or things you're not supposed to do at all. If you do all these things or if you fail to comply on a spouse visa, you are deported back from outside the UK and then you go back to your country. So you need to be careful of what things you do or what things you can't do on a spouse visa. So the first thing you should understand is this: as a spouse, you are allowed to stay the same length as the main applicant of the visa, who is your partner, right? So let's take, for instance, if I'm on a 5 year visa, my wife comes to the UK. They also as well come on a 5 year visa. They can't go and have a 3 year visa or something else. You can't apply for them to have a different length of visa. They should come on the same length of visa as you have. That's number one. Number two, when they come as spouse in the UK, they can actually work for any employer of their choice. Spouses are actually allowed to work for anyone they desire to work for. They can just come here and just take care of the children or do something else of their choice. One thing there are some things they're not allowed to do, which I will discuss about after these things they can actually do. So one other thing you can also do as a spouse, you are allowed to travel wherever you want as long as it's within the UK without a visa or without any additional documents. You can go to Scotland, you can go to Wales, you can go to Ireland, not the Northern Ireland. So you are allowed to go to all the parts of all the countries that form the United Kingdom, because the UK is formed of four countries apparently, which is England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. So there's two islands. There's Northern Ireland in the other one. So you need to know which one that doesn't need a visa. The other one needs a visa for you to go to that one. It's a separate country from the United Kingdom, right? So you can travel to all those countries. If you want to go to Europe, you can apply for any visa that's called the Schengen visa. This is the sort of visa that applies in all the countries in Europe, and you can apply for any of that visa for any country of your choice, and then you go there. It's actually easier to get one than when you're outside the UK. So this is part of the benefit of getting the spouse visa. You can actually travel the world. You can go in all those countries of your choice as long as you apply for a certain visa that applies, and it's easier if you are coming from the UK. Right, as a spouse visa, there are things you're not allowed to do, things you can do and you're not allowed to do. One thing you're not allowed to do is that you can't apply for grants, you can't apply for benefits. There's so many benefits in the UK for the UK citizens and other people that have got leave to remain, or when you get the UK citizenship after 5 years. Obviously, if you're coming from the skilled worker visa where you've got 5 years to be on leave to remain. So other than that, or before you reach there, you're not allowed to apply for any of the benefits, any of the grants. Meaning to say, you can't really go to school with unpaid education, because in the UK, you can actually go to, if you are a UK citizen, if you're a British citizen, you can go to school and get educational loans where you just go to uni, you go get all the degrees you want for free. It's not really for free at the time. I mean, just say for free because at the time you're not paying for it, but you get what's called a student loan where you have to pay later on when you start working. So you can't get all these things if you are on a spouse visa, because some people may think, well, I can as well start going to school. Yes, you can go to school, but you can't do that using government's funds. You have to pay for that, unfortunately. As for your dependents, meaning to say your children, if they're under the age of 18 where they're not going to university, They can also get free education. So this applies to up to college level, and they shouldn't be paying for any of the um, education. They can actually go to school for free up to the college level. From the uni level, which is university level, and going up, they may start to pay for any of their education from then onwards, right? And then one thing you're not also allowed to do if you're on a spouse visa, some people prefer not to live in the country. They really want to um, keep staying where the country of origin, like maybe for some reasons they have businesses, they have other commitments, so they don't want to relocate. What you need to understand is this: if you are to live outside, you still have to come in here regularly. After a certain length of time, you have to come back to the UK. You can't live outside the country for 2 continuous years and not coming to the UK. They revoke your visa, meaning to say you can no longer allowed to come here. So you need to regularly visit. I would recommend you coming here on a yearly basis, or maybe 6 months if you are poor. It all depends with um, how much money you've got. You can actually do that on a 3 months basis. Some do that on a 6 months basis. Some come yearly, annually. That's good as long as it's not exceeding the restricted amount of time. Then they can revoke your visa if you do that. So please never stay outside the UK for longer times than what's stipulated, so they won't reject your visa. If you're going to abide by the UK laws of spouse visa, dependence visa, after the end of your term of the visa, you may be able to apply for leave to remain, meaning to say you are now a permanent UK resident. In most cases, if you are on a skilled worker visa, it's 5 years. So if you work for 5 years on a sponsorship, then you now are a permanent resident. You're free to do whatever you want as long as it's not illegal. So this is the benefits of coming on a on a spouse visa, and your spouse comes on a skilled worker visa. You come sort of under them, they will be sponsoring you, sort of thing, and then you still need to abide by the laws of do's and don'ts, like I've mentioned. I hope this information is going to help you and you have a good stay in the UK, and you also enjoy your life in the UK when you come, if you haven't come yet. Have a good one. I'll see you in my next video.